Hello and welcome back to another video, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Some of the Last to First challenge, obviously we've been doing a bit more of those lately since I've been doing it every time there is a real life MotoGP race. But I did have quite a good idea. Obviously since I finished the historic challenges there's not been any historic content on the channel, and I did say when I was finishing that series that I wanted to try and keep historic content around on the channel. And I think I did say I'd probably do things like Last to First challenges. So I've had a thought. Tracks obviously like Laguna Seca, that's a classic track that's not going to be on the calendar this year. Also tracks like Phillip Island, Silverstone, tracks that were meant to be on the calendar but have been taken off. They're not going to come up on the Last to First challenge at all, with the modern bikes obviously because they're not on the calendar. So I thought I could do some tracks like those with the historic bikes, so the four strokes and the 2 strokes. This time I'm doing the 4 strokes as Troy Bayliss, but that's just sort of why I'm doing the video, just sort of give you the context behind it. And let me know what you think, obviously, and suggest tracks that obviously aren't on the calendar, what you'd like to see and who you'd like to see me play as well, because I think that's another important part that you guys get to pick, because obviously you tried to pick who I'd play with in the historic challenges. I didn't get to go through all your requests, so do let me know. Try not to request people I have played as before, but if it was a long time ago, it doesn't really matter, still request them if you'd like. But without further ado then, I'll get into this race and hopefully we can try and get through the pack without too many difficulties.
The riders are ready on the starting grid. The corkscrew is waiting. Only a few seconds left. The tension is high, and the Laguna Seca Grand Prix will officially start.
So interestingly enough then, it's actually Marco Melandri on pole position, Rossi 2006 alongside him, and Dani Pedrosa on the outside of that front row. We're waiting for the lights to go here, lights on, away we go, off the line using a little bit of power mode 2. I tried to put the weight forward, I think I made it wheel spin a little bit too much by doing that. We've got quite a good run back down to power mode 1, because obviously these bikes are very thirsty, they use a lot of fuel up. Braking for the first corner, we've only got in front of Edwards so far, but can we cut up the inside of a couple more, the inside of Rossi? I think we've got there, up into 16th now, we've got past Lorenzo as well, getting past Simoncelli as we hit the brakes then for turn 3, I nearly caught turn 2, but of course, as the first curve then, the Andretti hairpin, we've got past Vermeulen now, we're right behind Gibernau, trying to force Gibernau out the way on the power. Me and Vermeulen are both just sandwiched Gibernau there, got past him, but I'm back in front of Vermeulen once again, so up into 13th place now, Kenny Roberts Jr. just ahead of us. I thought there was no 1000s in the race actually, but I've just seen Casey Stone. I'm not sure if that's 2011 or 2012. We've got to watch out for that. Around the outside of Dani Pedrosa, so we're past Dani Pedrosa. He's had a terrible start then from the front row. He's dropped right down the order, and it looks like Stoner is on the move. So Stoner could be on a 1000cc, although Laguna Seca would be one of the best tracks to go against one there. That'd be your best chance really. Try to get the switchback here on Nakano then. Try to go around the outside of him. The rear just stepped out massively through the rainy curve there, but not quite getting in front of Shinya Nakano to go through turn 10. Then on the power, Stoner looks like he's made even more moves up ahead, but he's not into the lead yet, so it's not a disaster. Try and cut up the inside through the last corner on Nakano. Then the wheelies trying to force their way back up. We've actually got past Nakano, so into the top 10, so we've passed half the field already. I was going to the outside of Daijiro Kato, around the outside through the first corner, hitting the brakes then for the second corner, the Andretti hairpin. And we're up into 9th place then, so up next it's not Loris Capirossi, it's Alex Barros. I nearly called him Capirossi Bikes, then here we go, up the inside of him we go. Ooh, into turn 3, we've just got the move done, so just ahead of him then. So then it's Stoner and Dovizioso next, and then it's Shaky Byrne actually in 5th place, so Byrne doing a pretty decent ride so far in this one. So through the rainy curve, then Barros looking at the inside, Barros almost just went straight to the side of me. That was an aggressive move from Barros. He's actually put me off through turn 10, so will that allow him to overtake us? Not quite, but Barros caught me a bit off guard there by attacking once again. So we go into turn 11, then Barros again up the inside. Whoa! Hang on, Alex, calm down a bit, mate. So Rossi 21.4. I'm going to be in the 23s here, 22.6. So Rossi, the 2006 Valentino, is going to get away at the front if he's left to his own devices. So we're going towards the outside of Alex Barros then through the first corner. We've not quite been able to pull that off, unfortunately. Oh, Byrne! Byrne has crashed! How has Byrne gone down? That's a weird place to crash there. But Byrne has gone down, and meanwhile we're still behind Alex Barros. So Alex Barros obviously forced his way back past us, and I'm still stuck behind him. I actually can't get back in front of him. Capirossi's gone down as well now, and I think I saw Byrne's name come up again, so there's probably been a collision there to have a look at later on after the race is done. The rear sliding through the rainy curve as we come through turn 10, then trying to get on the power down towards the last corner, turn 11. Barros going to go a bit defensive. I'm going to try and get a better exit and out drag into the line. Kato having a bit of a dive up the inside there, trying to keep that front wheel down. Side by side with him. Stoner does the fastest at 21.0. I do a 21.8. Side by side with Barros. Past Barros we go. Dovizioso's up next then. And I think Stoner might be the 2012 one because he's getting away. I've just lost the front. Whoa, I've picked up a penalty. I mean, fair enough. But did you see that I lost the front and had to let off the brake? And that made me actually obviously cut the corner because I was carrying way too much speed because I had to release the brake. But wow, this front tyre is getting stressed out a lot. It's not very worn, but it's very hot. So here we go then up the hill towards the corkscrew. We're going to go for a move onto Vizioso here, side by side with Dovi. We have massive contact with him on the way in actually. Good job we didn't pick up any damage. I'm avoiding that inside curve. Don't want to tuck the front again or anything like that. So we've got past Vizioso now. So back up into 6th place. Casey Stoner up next then. Also we've got a 3/10 penalty to contend with, but 2.1 seconds to catch up as well. I don't think I have the pace to really claw that back, so that would be quite interesting. We've got on the gravel as well, so that's definitely not going to help me out. 22.1 as well on that lap. Coming up towards the line then, this is going to be fastest lap 21.0. Not quite, I think that's just shy of the fastest lap of the race. So as we're about to start the final lap then, we're getting quite close to Max Biaggi now. Stoner's finally cleared him, and look how much he's got ahead of him. And we've got into that first corner way too hot. No way we're getting that one stopped. I think that's going to be the end of our charge for 5th place, unfortunately. Here we go then, we're right on the back of Biaggi. We're going to go for the move up the inside. He's struggling a massive amount, so we're up into 5th place, and we've actually managed to get to the top 5. I can see the leaders just up ahead, but I think Melandri's actually clearing off from them, and Stoner's catching them very quickly, but I'm just a bit too far behind to catch them up, I think. So coming through the last turn, then the front skating all the way through there. I've got to try and get 3/10 to Biaggi, so I'm going to go power mode 2 as we got towards the line, and the bike's wheeling. I think we've managed it, so I think it's going to be 5th place, unfortunately not 1st position. So then, yes, unfortunately it was only a last to 5th challenge there, so who got the fastest lap? Well, Stoner had a 20.8 as the fastest lap apparently. It must have been on his last lap, but he was flying. Some of the other AI have got someone realistically fast lap times a bit further behind. Hayden and Kato seem to have got the glitch where you get put back about 1,000,000 minutes. Simoncelli, Lorenzo and Byrne all crashing out apparently as well. So it'd be interesting to see what happened with those guys. But yeah, I don't think that race was particularly too long. I mean, as you can see, it was only a 10-minute race anyway. And I barely saw anybody after the first couple of laps. So that was a bit of a boring race, to be honest. So I think maybe then we'll go have a look, see what happened with Byrne, because that was a really, really weird crash. And then I think I'll actually do another race after this, just to make sure the video's long enough. So this is on board with Byrne then. He's tipping it into the fast left. And look at that, as he gets on the power, the rear just slides around. That's why it looked like such a weird crash. The rear just slid around, and oh, he's just going to rejoin the track, isn't he? Yeah, and oh, that's how he had off Edwards. And that's how Lorenzo got caught up in it as well, by the looks of it. That's how they were out of the race. Yeah, so if we watch on board with that then, yep, oh, that's, oh, loads of riders collected in that crash. That's an awful crash. Here's Lorenzo's point of view of it then. Oh, look, he's collected basically the whole pack behind him. Lorenzo had a lot of time to react to that. Quite how he's ran into them, I'm not too sure on that one, but yeah, if you have a look, there's a massive accident. He gets all this time, like, by now you probably brake and probably weave to the left, but he just carried on going full throttle straight into the path of them, so yeah, a little bit weird from Lorenzo there. So then we're here at a different track now. We're here at Assen. This time we're on the M1 from 2004. So yes, I've already folded and gone back to a Yamaha because we didn't do very well last time, but I think all the 990s are the same anyway, so I don't think it particularly matters. But I was just thinking, what track could we do? And actually, yeah, Assen this year got cancelled. Obviously, probably the only track that's done every season. This will be the first time it's not been on the calendar because of the whole pandemic thing. So obviously the calendar got changed. So let's get into this race then. 20th on the grid once again. I don't think I can, oh, I was going to say I don't think I can change the fuel map, but it's the same bike basically as last time. So waiting for the lights to go out here. The lights out and away we go. To the Yamaha on the back row with his Hoy. Lorenzo's Yamaha though. Got past him already. So we go towards the first corner then. Closing upon Marco Simoncelli a little bit. I'm going to go for this inside line. Lorenzo's corner cut's trying to overtake me because he was trying to get the inside and I was trying to take a tight line. So I'm still only up into 18th there apparently. So we've actually not had the best start. I'm right on the curb on the inside, almost going to the side of Kenny Jr. there. But I don't want to waste time behind people. There's Troy Bayliss, obviously the rider we were playing out in the last race at Laguna Seca. Giovinazzi bashing his way past him, so we're still in 19th, so we barely gained anything just because of how many wide the AI are going. Makes it incredibly difficult to do anything as we go towards some of the fastest corners on the track, through the Veen Slang, up the inside, into the Ruskin Hook, Marco Simoncelli round the outside. We've actually managed to pull that off on him, sliding around the outside of Simoncelli, so we're back up into 16th place now then. Shane Byrne up next. Can't quite go for the outside move there, into the bolt, on the power as early as we can. Torukawa battling with Pedrosa up ahead apparently. Up the inside of Byrne we go now, can we get this move done? up into 15th, so up into the points again at the end of the first lap so far, but obviously there's still a couple more corners to go. Watch out through that corner, I cannot pronounce that one. Easy to get a penalty if you go a little bit wide. And here we go, through turn 14, I've absolutely nerfed Pedrosa, sorry Danny, I completely misjudged that one, but up the inside of Nicky Hayden as well, towards the Timmy chicane. And apparently I've not picked up any damage from that contact with Pedrosa as well, which is ideal. Ukawa's got a bit wide, we've got past Ukawa, okay, we picked up damage from that one. We've got a really good run though, compared to Kenny Jr. and Christopher Mullen. Down towards the first corner, up the inside of Christopher Mullen on the brakes. We're going to do a famous Rossi on the brakes pass, not quite. He's kept it in front of us for now. Through turn 4, here we go, then we're going for it into Strubben. No, not quite actually, I thought I was going to get it there, but not quite. Try to get it out of Strubben then. Got a really good exit, but not quite enough to pull alongside for Mullen. We might just have a look into the Veenslang in the slipstream on the outside curb, round the outside, almost off the track through the Veenslang. Then through the Ruskin Hook. Is he going to be able to tack us back through the Ruskin Hook? No, he's not. So Max Biaggi, one of Rossi's bitter rivals, up ahead of him. So through 14 then, Edwards ahead of us. He actually put me off a little bit because I couldn't quite go on the line I wanted to. So I thought I might hit him at the back as we go towards the Gertim chicane then. Through the chicane, flicking the bike over. We're going to get a better run than Biaggi, lifting off the power to get back in front of him. So up into 9th place. So we've not gained that many positions on this lap. We need to try and increase the amount we're gaining per lap again. Here we go, then out of Strubben. I've actually had a really good run. Try and get some slipstream on Edwards. Edwards is actually pulling away from me by quite a big amount there. So go towards the Veenslang again, trying to keep it flat out. We're going to look at the inside to the Ruskin Hook on the curb. Not quite, so Edwards stays ahead for now. It's actually a lot harder to get through the pack than you'd expect it to be honest. It's just really difficult to pass at Assen. I mean, even though there's so many braking opportunities, the AI actually aren't too bad on the brakes here. The Duca Sloot right behind him. Through this, got around the outside. Oh, so close. I might have actually gone slightly off the track there, but I was so close to going off the track, definitely. Through the Rams Hook then. Down towards the Gertim chicane once again. Is it going to be 2 places in 1 lap again? Through the Gertim chicane. I've picked up a penalty there by cutting the inside of it a little bit. Fair enough. So we're now up into 7th place. Daijiro Kato up next in the corner doing the fast lap of the race. 33.3. I actually went marginally quicker, but obviously we picked up a penalty, so it doesn't count. Coming through the chicane then once again, trying to get another good run here on Kato. We actually haven't managed to do it this time, but Stoner seems to be struggling. So in the slipstream of Casey Stoner, fast up of the race to me, 33.3. We go to the outside of Stoner, on the outside of Stoner, around the outside of Kato as well. Both of them into one corner. So I've sat behind him for a whole lap, only to do that quite easily anyway. So Marco Melandri on another 2004 Yamaha up next. So over the line on that lap then. 32.8, so a bit quicker than what Barros is doing at the front. Marco Melandri still the rider ahead of us. We close up massively through the first corner. Are we going to be able to have an attack in this first sector anywhere? Hopefully we can. On the inside into this corner here. I'm not waiting behind him into Ossobrock and then up into 4th position now. Shinya Nakano up next, and we're really marginal on fuel, so I've got to manage the fuel and manage the gap to Nakano. But Melandri is not having any of it. He's just dived back up the inside of us. That's allowed Kato to get a bit of a run on us. So that's probably our attempts at beating Nakano totally negated now, because Melandri is just, well, needlessly ran into the side of us and given me even more damage than I already had. Through the last corner, we've had an amazing run as we come towards the line. It's been a crash for Burton, there's a crash for Mullen as well just before that. So we go towards the first corner, then round the outside of Nakano on the brakes. Who's up next? Andrea Dovizioso. Can we push enough to catch him up? And we're going to have to go power mode 0 for the rest of this lap to pull it off. But remember before, when we ran out of fuel here, in the actual historic challenges, when we had 1 point something fuel left at the start of the last lap, so we've got to watch out for that. Through the last corner then, corner towards the line, Barros wins and ahead of Dovizioso in 2nd and myself in 3rd, so a bit better than we did in Laguna Seca, but still not a win. So then apparently Barros matched us there on the last lap with his fastest lap. If we have a look, apparently Sete Gibbon had a 31.4, I find that quite hard to believe. Looks like Stoner and Caparossi got the glitch where they got put a certain amount of time behind, which is a bit annoying. I think I've seen online somewhere that if they're 3 to 4 seconds behind the player, and the player goes over the line, they get put a certain amount of distance back. So you just got to hope that no AI finish within that bracket. If you never used to be a glitch, so quite how they added it. I think it came with this update with the new timing, so maybe that's part of it. Hopefully they can fix it soon, but to be honest, you could easily miss this bug. Because if you did a lot of testing and you just never got the AI finishing within that specific bracket, because they finish less than 3 seconds, they're fine. They finish more than 4, they're fine. But in that 1 second bracket, which, to be honest, even me, I've only had it happen 2 or 3 times, and I do videos every day, so... And obviously, it doesn't happen that commonly, but it is a little bit annoying that it does keep happening. So we'll go have a look at the replay then, and we'll round off the video, because I think that should be enough then. Because obviously with the first race, it was quite boring, there wasn't actually that much of it in the video, I'm sure. So actually first, let's watch this with Melandri then. He dives to the inside, just goes straight into the back of me there. And that's really what probably cost us a shot at the second position. Somehow we still caught up to Nakano. So we're in front. I slid the rear a little bit, and I'm turning in for the corner now, and he's gone for the inside, just clattered into me. And we're really pretty lucky that we both stayed on there, because we definitely both could have crashed. And I've almost hit Kato then when I've cut back as well. So this is what happened with Vermeulen then. It looks like he's got a problem already. He's been passed by one of the Repsols, and oh, he's just been rammed by Byrne. Wow, look how high his body went. That was aggressive. Wow. And he's got back on the bike as well. Wow, that was an aggressive crash. Both of them have got back on, in fact. Yeah, so if you listen to his bike here, it doesn't sound right. It sounds like he's got some sort of problem or something. And there goes Nicky Hayden straight past him, and bam, there goes Byrne straight into the back of him. If we slow it down then, it's always going to put us into TV replay cam. Both the bikes sliding down the road, and I'm not sure what's happened. I think the bikes have hit each other, or the bodies had collision with the bike or whatever, and that's just launched the bikes and Vermeulen up into the air. That is such a hard crash. Oh, the ragdoll physics in this game are extremely realistic. It makes some of the crashes look so painful. Look at his legs. Oh, so this is on board with Byrne then. So you can see it's closing up to him. Here he goes. He's cashed up to the back of Vermeulen. It just suddenly just clips him. The contact actually wasn't that heavy. I'm surprised that they crashed, but because the closing speed isn't as much as it actually looks from on board with Vermeulen, really, because he does start to slow down in this defence, but it was enough to have them both down, and a brutal crash that one was. So I think that's where we'll leave this video off then, guys. 2 last the first challenge races in one video. Obviously the first one a little bit boring at Laguna Seca, like I said, so I decided to do another one here at Assen. Do let me know what tracks you'd like me to do it at, and what riders you'd like me to do it with as well, because I would like to try and bring some more historic content. Of course, 4 strokes, 2 strokes, I'm not bothered which, even Moto 3 and Moto 2 to a certain extent, Moto E, Red Bull Rookies, just different categories really, but obviously I haven't done any historic content for a while, so I thought I would bring some historic content back to the channel, because just a bit of a refresh, because otherwise just career mode online. But like I said, I hope you did enjoy this video then, guys. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day, hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.